name is Oluwatosin, and our business is called PlusTvAfrica Limited. At PlusTvAfrica Limited, we provide packaging solutions for small businesses in Nigeria. Our focus is on small businesses. We help small businesses to take their products from local to global, because we know that we have a lot of products being produced, especially now that everybody's brother and sister is into business. So we know a lot of people are producers, but we still have to, they still are limited in markets to the Nigerian market. And with the ACTFA agreements and the government trying to encourage businesses to take their business global, to export their products, our Nigerian products are not so easily acceptable in other climes because our packaging is poor. So that's what we are here today. We are here to fill in the gap, to help provide workable packaging solutions with smaller minimum order quantities and help them package their products in a way that will delight their customers. My background is in banking. I started banking in 2006, thereabouts, and I worked in about 3 banks. So my journey started when I was moved in 2012 to marketing. And because I was moved to marketing, I was handling businesses, and I had to, I had a close relationship with business owners. And that was how I began to understand the kind of businesses, the way businesses are run, basically, and also what kind of problems they have. And that was how I jumped into this. So from leaving banking, the only thing I had to do was set up a packaging company and be able to provide solutions to what I thought was a problem in Nigeria. I'm a late bloomer when it comes to knowing what I want to do with my life, and that's why a lot of people know from the very beginning. But for a very long time, I just knew I wanted to work in an office. But as at that time, something started shifting in me, because the more I saw people running their business and, fulfilling their destiny, so to speak, it felt like something was missing for me. And at some point, I met someone that makes nylon. That's all she does. And she used to make what we call toromagbe. That's the small black nylon that when you go somewhere, you buy something, they put it in. That was what she used to make. And that started sealing it in for me that, okay, this is what I want to do. But I don't want to do it the same way she's doing it. I want to be able to provide a service that everybody needs. Because we all know that the toromagbe nylon is something that is more of a menace in society. But how can I take this, what I love, and bring it into what is a problem in the society? And that was what bettered the packaging industry. So we have evolved over time from just providing shopping bags into providing solutions that businesses need. My training was more or less informal, because there is no particular school that teaches packaging, but I had to choose mentors, and most of my mentors were not even in the same industry I work in. So I had to marry the kind of information I was getting along with regular business trainings into what I have today. I'm a UN 3 awardee. The government of Goodluck Jonathan awarded some entrepreneurs grants back then, and I was one of the sets for the 3rd one. I got 10 million naira, and that was the first funding we used for this business. After that, I put in for the Tony Melu entrepreneurship program, and I won $5,000. So that has helped, and so many other grants along the way that I've put in for. And then, of course, a lot came in from our savings. And then when I started this business, my husband was still working. So we had to take out a couple of loans here and there. And then, of course, whatever he was able to take out of what he was earning, that's what we used. Challenges, there are many. Where do I start from? So we have the number 1 challenge is power. That's the number 1 challenge. This is a very power-intensive business. So if I was to put on my generator for this system, I will have to use a 100 kVA generator. That's having to spend an average of 50,000 naira for fuel daily. So power is a major challenge. When I want to start my machines, I need to warm them up for like an hour before I start at all. So even if I was using a generator, that's like money down the drain. So we need to have sustainable power to be able to run this business. That's number one. Number two is staffing. We would use a lot of blue-collar workers, so they didn't go to school to learn this, they learned trade, it as a trade, you understand? So there is no school in which you go to and say, okay, this is how to run an extruder. We don't have such schools in Nigeria. So they kind of like have they go in under someone, learn it, and then they go out to go and learn. So you can't really place how much information or how much they have learned, except when you put them to test. So sometimes you employ someone and you realize that they don't know as much as they claim they do, or maybe they are making a lot of mistakes. You have to either train them and like I said, there is no formal training system. So you have to either train them or maybe bring in someone that has more experience over them. And then because, like I said, they are blue-collar workers, there is a lot of other issues that spring up as a result of them working with you, because some are not teachable, some come in with their own preconception of how things should be run, and they don't want to change that. So you have to like have a lot of hit and miss before you have your perfect fit. Raw materials. The raw materials industry is dominated by foreigners. So we have Lebanese, we have Indians, and we don't seem to have been able as Nigerians to get into that business effectively. So Nigerians work the recycled raw material aspects. But even when you go outside the country, into China, Dubai, anywhere where all these things are shipped from, and you try to get in there and say, I want to ship, they tell you, no, go to this person that is probably Lebanese, that is working in Nigeria. So one way or the other, they kind of dominate the space, and by dominating the space, they dominate the price. They also own factories. So they kind of control things, they control the pricing of what we sell. They can flood the markets at any time with their own products. Meanwhile, they are the ones still selling raw materials to us at a higher price. So we need a space in which Nigerians are also playing in this space, so that it's more, you have more competition, more healthy competition in that space. First of all, I would say that paper bags are from trees. So if you're using paper bags, you are causing deforestation, and that means you're not helping the environment either. So there is this misconception that, okay, if you use plastic bags, that means you are not helping the environment. That's far from true. The problem we have with everything is that we don't reuse, we don't reduce what we use, we don't reuse, and we don't recycle. The moment we can do these three things, whether for paper bags or for plastic bags or for plastic bottles, then the world will be a better place. The person that started the plastic bags, that invented it because he didn't want them to kill off all the trees to make paper bags. So he invented a plastic bag that could be reusable. The problem started when we started using them as single use. Now, my own industry, like I showed you earlier, we have most of the raw materials we use, especially for our garbage bags and other non-food grade products, are raw materials from recycled products. So the problem in Lagos, I would say Lagos because I don't want to use Nigeria as a whole, is being able to access this waste, because most of it goes to the dumps. And when it goes to the dump, I can't use it anymore because a lot of other chemicals have infused into it. Can we have a place where we can take this raw material, this waste from source? If we can take it from source, then we can recycle and reuse them into bags that we can still use. So for me, I would believe that if we can have a government that would look into resolving the problem and not just taking out, stop banning plastic products. Because I'll put it to you that a paper bag is what, if you're going to buy a paper bag for a particular nylon bag size, then you're going to be paying like 4, 5, 6 times the price you would have paid for the nylon bag. And the nylon bag is more reusable than the paper bag. I'm in the paper bag space too. So I wouldn't want my business to go down, but it's supposed to be a case of education, one, and then having the proper systems in place to collect and separate waste. If we can collect and separate waste from mushy markets, where a lot of nylons and a lot of plastic bottles are being thrown away and thrown into our sewage system, then people like me, we are happier because that means my raw materials are cheaper. It's the advice I give myself every day. sometimes I ask myself, what am I doing here? Why am I here? Especially when, the electricity company rears its ugly head and we have power outages, or they are simply messing up our plans. I'll tell you, just hang in there. We believe in Nigeria, right? We believe that Nigeria can get better. And I will consider myself a youth in this case. We, the youths, are the ones that can make it better. So if we all pack up and go, what will happen tomorrow? Will there be no Nigeria? Because we can go there and we can make it happen. It's harder here, yes. You have to strive more, you have to work at it more, but it's still doable. We still have businesses that are selling we still have companies that are selling their businesses for thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So if they can hang in there, then we can hang in there. And then we can, leverage on one another. Let's collaborate. Instead of looking at each other as competitors, let's look at each other as collaborators. For example, if anybody wanted to go into this industry, because it's so power and capital intensive, I tell them, why don't you let me produce for you? I'll produce for you at a cheaper rate. You can go on and market. So if we can do that, like if you have a business, another business I'm so passionate and interested in is the food business, because we have a lot of waste, and we have some companies that they process these products and they package. So why are you in your little corners trying to, pack it in nylon, and people are telling you your packaging is not nice and you're wondering what else can you do? Why not go to this kind of person? She already has, our place is already NAFDAC approved. Every other approval is in place. Go there with your raw material, go there with your packaging. They package for you and you are home free. So why do we all have to go into the nitty-gritty parts of each business? You can leverage on each other's spaces and, sell. The selling, the market is where the problem is. Anybody can do anything, but if you can have your market, then you don't even have to have the product. Get someone that has the product. Push. That's the advice I have for people. So it has been a long journey because you have to earn the trust of your customers. But we started small. Even though we had the factory and everything, we had to start small. We had to have a product, so to speak. And it's hard when you're selling packaging, because when you're selling packaging, they think customers think you're selling the product in it. So if I give you like I'm going to show you something from Jam Coconuts. So if I'm showing it to you, I'm trying to show you the package, but you can see the product in it. So it's a hard sell. But over time, we've been able to leverage on references. If I produce for you, you refer me to someone. And then also we have a very vibrant social media plan. So we put whatever we do on social media, and people from there, and then we do social media marketing. And from there, we've been having a lot of hits. A lot of customers are asking what we do. Then another fundamental way we've been able to gain customers is that most of people in this space, when you want to package your product, they'll tell you, I'll come and do 100,000 pieces, 200,000 pieces, and then we can package your product for you. But I tell you, come and do 10,000 pieces. And even as we speak, we are looking at how we can work on reducing that to 1,000 pieces. So that means that we are a low entry barrier kind of, we are opening up a low entry barrier kind of market for people that are willing to go into entrepreneurship, because most people don't even, they don't know if they will have that market yet. And you're telling them, I was talking to a customer recently, and she was showing me what she did like 3 years ago. She did like 200,000 pieces. She hadn't used up to 1/4 of it. And now she wants to change her packaging. So all that is a waste. So we are trying to create a niche for those people that, okay, we want to test the market. We have 3-4 products. Which one will move? If I do 100,000 pieces of each product, and then one is not moving, does that mean I've wasted my money? So what we are trying to do is, okay, come and do 1,000 pieces. Of course, it will be more expensive than if we were doing 100,000, but it's still at a price you can go to market with. So by the time you do that, you try the market. Oh, I have 5 products, but I think I'll go to market with 3 products. Then we can do 10,000 pieces for you. Then when you grow to the extent where you can do 100,000 pieces, then we can take it to 100,000 pieces. And each time your price drops.
According to a research paper, in several developing countries, there is an informal waste management system. Plastic pollution is currently a serious problem in developing countries, with many people in these countries relying on plastic sachets of water in the absence of affordable and readily available drinking water. The mismanagement of waste, particularly plastic, in these countries through dumping or burning not only has a negative environmental impact, it also has a seriously detrimental effect on public health, with one person dying every 30 seconds as a consequence of poor waste management. According to Bioenergy Consult, in Nigeria, the management of waste is a matter of national concern, as current data shows that the country generates more than 32 million tons of solid waste annually, one of the highest amounts in Africa. Over 15% of the municipal solid wastes generated are from plastics and nylons. The volume of waste does not actually constitute the problem, but the inability of government, individuals, and waste disposal firms to keep up with the task of managing waste and the environment. The problem emanates from the country's poor culture of recycling waste. The Global Journal of Research and Review states that at every hour of the day, waste materials are indiscriminately disposed in Nigeria. The effects are seen in the quality of air, blockage of drainages, destruction of land, and poor health of inhabitants of polluted areas. Thus, green recycling of waste nylon is a veritable tool that should be encouraged in the country. It can promote both social and environmental development. It helps to protect the environment, enhance a cleaner environment, create jobs, generate revenue, brings about poverty eradication programs, reduce municipal solid waste, save costs and energy, among others. It is time we take the recycling of waste very seriously in the country because according to Nairametrics, today, the recycling industry is estimated to be worth several billions of naira, but this is nothing compared to the revenues it has the potential to generate should the right investments be made. Small and medium enterprise, green entrepreneurs, and individuals that are passionate about the environment should tap into this emerging business opportunity. The business process involves collection, separation, and reduction of waste nylon and plastic bottles, and then remanufacturing it into either same product or entirely new products. Items that can be made from recycled waste nylon and plastic bottles include shopping bags, nylons, waste disposable bags, nylon sachets, among many others.
My name is Adewale Olaleye, and I'm in charge of strategy and operation in PlusTvAfrica. I'm actually responsible for strategy direction for the organization, and I manage the entire production from sourcing of the materials down to producing the materials and delivering for customers and ensuring the customers are satisfied with what was delivered. I looked at it as, because I actually worked in a corporate organization for a couple of years, about 15, 16 years. So I've worked with a lot of people. So working with my wife too, I just assumed that is one of my colleagues that I've worked with because I've been moved from one role to another role, and you have to adapt to the people you meet with. So I just assumed that she's my colleague. Even when I'm in the office, I call her partner. When I'm talking to customers, I don't even want people to see that we're kind of my spouse. So I call her my MD or my colleague in the office. So that's the way I see it. So it's not really different from when I was in the 8 to 5 kind of work, and I see a lot of people I work with. It got to a point when it just started, I was very enthusiastic about it. But it got to a point I was like, wow, are we doing the right thing? Because money just going down the drain. You know, if I need to cite an example, before I used to enjoy my money before we started the business. You know, I'm very comfortable, things were going on with my money, but when we started the business, I discovered that I can't just spend money anyhow. I can't just spend. You know, I have to be looking at, these people might need money now, so they might need to pay NEPA bills immediately, they might need to pay salaries, and no money is coming in, you know, and it was very frustrating. But I just look at it as, you know, when you give out to a child, you know, a child will start sucking, then before start crawling, you know, taking step one after the other before started walking and running. So I believe that it will get to a point whereby the business will be running as well. So I just have to be a bit patient to see the business go to that level. Fine, I handle strategy. Even when I was doing the 8 to 5, I still look at the book from the back end. I said, okay, what are you guys performing? And I was able to see, okay, we're not doing something right, so okay, why don't you try this? Why don't you use this kind of strategy to see maybe it's worked better? So we started, we changed a couple of strategy, but just last year, something started working, so we started pushing it, and towards the Q4 of last year, the company was able to pay all the bills conveniently without sourcing from other source. So from last year, Q4, we've been profitable. The low side, especially when you're looking for raw materials, you have orders and you cannot even get the right raw materials to fulfill the order, is a lot of challenges. And from the strategy point of view, it was it's a very huge market, and you have a lot of big players. When you're doing the interview with the MD, she mentioned the fact that you have the Lebanese who has foreign money, the backing of the government. Government gives them a lot of grants and loans, for them to operate. So they are quite big. So we try to look at, okay, how can we catch a niche? How can we remain competitive? How can we be able to capture some market? Because if you want to play in that red ocean, definitely the big sharks will just eat you up. So we try to look at, okay, how can we differentiate ourselves from the so-called nylon business? That's why we started coming up with what I refer to as a market development strategy, where I was able to identify some markets and create the products from packaging kind of products to meet those markets. And that actually causes the growth to be very slow. But we know we are moving in the right direction, so we kept on growing a bit and bit by bit. And I will categorically say right now that actually we are moving. And I think we are going in the right direction. So that is, to me, is a fun thing for me, because I just look at the entire industry and I'll say, so I can actually still differentiate myself, despite the fact that everybody is looking at, this is the kind of business we run. This is kind of like, if I go to other people that's doing this kind of business, they were like, why are you doing this way? I'll say, no, this is what I feel is right. And I've advised a couple of people. Some people get a kind of transaction. They will tell me, this transaction is a lot of money there. I'll say, I'm not doing. This is not good. By the time they step into it, at the end of the day, by the time you spend 1, 2, 3 months, you discover that, this is not a good transaction. But me, I've been able to see it, from afar. Maybe because of my training. I went to a business school, so I studied business as well. So I was able to, understand how to tweak strategy to fit into what you want. I was talking with the MD late last year, early this year. I said I should have even taken this step for a long time. I think I delayed a lot because I discovered that joining the team, I was able to actually drive that operation, and I was able to drive low cost, reduce our cost of operation very well, and that increased our profitability. So though it was tough, it was a tough decision because you're going to world you don't know what's going to happen. You're getting something paid at the end of 30 days, and now you have to look for how to pay salary, nothing is coming in. But as I am today, I was thinking that I should have even taken a step and moved from the paid employment for a long time, because I could see that when I added up my own experience as well to the business, then the growth was evident. And we started moving at a faster speed. Anyone that's actually doing I wouldn't say that doing a 8 to 5 is not a good idea, because actually you need the experience, you need the network, you need all the that experience. Actually, you need to do your drive business. But I think looking at the fact that I am working on my own, I'm able to put food on people's table. I was able to solve Nigerian unemployment problem. Right now, I have when we started, we have about 2 staff. Now we are having about 7 staffs, and I'm just recruiting more people now. Maybe in the next 1 month, we might be getting up to 10, 11 staffs. I think that's bringing joy to me to see that I'm actually, putting food on people's table and being a blessing to people. Just beside even making the money, but at least I am giving people happiness. Of course, bringing happiness to people's faces. PlusTvAfrica to be a conglomerate, a group of companies. The roadmap has already been drawn to be a global company. whereby we're going to international business, international trade, and then be a one-stop shop for packaging in Nigeria. You know, going to our online space, creating a market space for packaging online. So that's my goal. That's my plan for PlusTvAfrica.